What's going on, YouTube? It's me, Justin, aka Good Will Hunter, and I'm back with another Purge. I gotta get this stuff out of the backlog. It's everywhere. As you can see, it's over here, on the floor, over there. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Got all kinds of crap, a lot of good stuff. I actually was able to contact a guy on Craigslist who, from what I saw, he was pretty much a collector, but when I actually went to his basement, this guy had a lot of really good import stuff, a lot of stuff that's really obscure that you don't see, and we'll get into some of the best of the best. But first. Alright, well, I guess we can just go off of some Wii games that I got. Got a copy of WarioWare Smooth Moves and the Bit Trip Complete with the soundtrack for the Wii. It's pretty cool. I love this game. This is the best party game. I think way better than Mario Party. It's just really fun. A lot of wacky Wii motions, and the games are just hilarious. Found this nifty PlayStation bag. It's got a padded inside pocket, and yeah, it's a bag, but it says PlayStation, and it's really cool because I like having the actual bags for these things, so I can put the systems that I would play in them. So they're a kind of cool little collector's thing. Speaking of funny, weird things, I found this controller. I'm not sure if it works, but it's one of those weird ones. It's the one-handed PlayStation controller that you put on, and it's freaking weird, dude. I don't know. I don't even know if it works, but it's by a company that manufactured, they had one for the Nintendo 64, I believe. I don't know if they had one for the Super Nintendo. I think they only had one for PlayStation and Nintendo 64. But it is freaking weird. Made by, where is it? Reality Quest Corporation. Yeah, they made some pretty funky looking controllers, and I don't know if they were meant to be for people that had limited mobility or for people that only had one arm, but unfortunately I think this is only for right-handed people, so they obviously didn't. I don't know if they made a left-handed version. I think that if they did, it's probably rarer than this. Found a PlayStation 1 Slim, totally works. Found a couple controllers and a power supply at a Goodwill or something one day, and well, I just happened to find the controller, actually the system, and another. I went to a thrift store on a Sunday, and it was like, if you buy $50 worth of stuff, you get it 50% off. So I bought a bunch of stuff, and I saw that they had some N64 games in the case, so I had to ask, and you know what? They were really good ones. Mortal Kombat Trilogy, Snowboard Kids, Diddy Kong Racing, Pilot Wing 64, Yoshi's Story, Super Smash Bros. And there also was a Zelda Ocarina of Time, but I've since sold that, so that was pretty cool to find all those bundled. And for literally $20. Found these. I got Ridge Racer on the PSP, and I don't own a Vita, but I decided to pick it up because it's only $2.50. It was MLB 13 The Show. So on Thursday I went to Goodwill, and it's 25% off for your military or police or fire or whatever. So I used it and was able to pick up a PSP, the Fat 1000, and it's in immaculate condition. Literally, there's nothing wrong with it. Well, aside from it's missing the cover for the joystick, but you can order new ones, which I have since done. And I was able to find the charger in the back. It has a memory card in it, and it had a copy of National Treasure on the UMD. So, awesome condition. Didn't have one, got rid of it, so adding it to the collection. At one of the shittier Goodwills, I was actually able to find, a Game Boy Pocket, a yellow one. I didn't have a yellow one. I had a black one, but this one was actually in a little bit better condition as far as the screen. And I cleaned it up really well and actually had the battery cover. I went back a couple days later, they had another one. It was a blue one, but the battery cover was missing, and I could tell that it was broken, so I decided to leave that one, but for $5, that's a good deal. At the same thrift store that I found those Nintendo 64 games, previous in the week, I was able to find well, it's not pink, but it was pink. It was a pink Nintendo DS for $8. And it had, the stylus and all that, but it also had one of these. I don't know if you know what these are, but it is the R4. You can load like Nintendo 64 ROMs and stuff like that. It'll actually play as a flash cart for the Nintendo DS. And the pink one unfortunately didn't work, but I had a white one, this white one, that the touch panel was messed up. So I was able to actually salvage the touch from that one, put it in this one, so now I have a fully functioning Nintendo DS. But this is a replacement case. If I ever find another one, I'll pick it up. I'm doing a lot of handhelds. I did a deal with a guy on Craigslist for 25 bucks. No, I'm sorry. For 40 bucks, I was able to get 5 PSP games and the actual PSP itself. Probably asking yourself, why would you pay 40 bucks for 5 games and the PSP? Well, I paid 40 bucks because it was the Star Wars Battlefront, the white PSP, the Darth Vader edition, and the guy had taken very good care of it. It didn't have a battery, but I had an extra battery, so excited to have that again. I had this one when it first came out on a deployment, and I loved it. I had gotten rid of the big fat one and decided to upgrade to this. And the games, he had some pretty good games. He was only charging $5 a piece, so I picked up a couple that it didn't have, and some I already did have, but I'm gonna get rid of. But anyways, you got Metal Slug Anthology, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, but unfortunately it's got some water label damage. Another label damage to Mega Man Powered Up, but didn't have it. The Sega Genesis Collection, Mega Man X Maverick Hunter. So for 40 bucks, I think that was a good deal. As I say, I'm just going to keep the PSP, get rid of some of the games with some other PSPs that I have for sale. At that same thrift store, I found those Nintendo 64 games. I found they had some boxed Sega Genesis games, the cardboard ones. I was able to pick up Desert As the Cart Falls Out, Desert Demolition starring the Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote, but the box is a little messed up. Clue, complete copy of Monopoly. Oh, here we go. Stacko Games. I picked these up at, let's see, thrift stores. These are all from pawn shops. So from the thrift stores, I was able to drop a copy of Dragon Warrior or Dragon Quest Swords, The Masked Queen and the Tower of Mirrors. I know it's a horrible Wii motion game, but I decided for $2.50 it couldn't be that bad. Greatest Hits copy, Resident Evil 4, and Assassin's Creed 2 on the 360. I just picked it up because it was a double and it was cheap. Now today at the pawn shops, I was able to upgrade some games that didn't have, some of the exclusive content and all that crap. El Shaddai for the 360. I heard this has gotten really positive reviews. I was able to get it, I got it for like $5 when I bundled it with another game. So for $5, I thought it was pretty good. I like the cell shaded graphics, but I bundled it because I've been trying to get this one for a long time. It is the gold edition of Resident Evil 5. It has all the other exclusive content and all that crap. I know. It's Resident Evil 5, and I know not a lot of people liked it, but I actually thought it was pretty good. Unfortunately, I hated having wherever the hell her face was. She blew through ammo like crazy and to keep giving her stuff. And then at another Pawn America, something like that, I picked up 2 PlayStation 3 games. He wanted like $6 a piece. The complete edition of Grand Theft Auto 4, yeah, episodes Liberty City. So now I got the expansions for that. And Disgaea 3, Absence of Justice. I only picked it up because it's NIS America or NIS America, so I thought it would be a good investment for $5 or $6. My next door neighbor gave me actually a bunch of stuff. I guess his mom was cleaning out his house, or cleaning out their closet, and he found a bunch of PlayStation stuff, and he knows that I'm a big gamer, so he just said, you can have these, that's fine, I don't need them. I told him I'd give him some money, but he said no, so I was actually able to get some more games that I don't have, which is CTR, Crash Team Racing, Army Man 3D, Crash Bandicoot Warped, which I think is the 3rd one. Excited to have this one. I had this one, but I have gotten rid of it, so nice to have back in the collection. It's Metal Gear Solid VR Missions, the original Grand Theft Auto, Grand Theft Auto London, Yes, Mission Pack 1, London, 1969. Medal of Honor, and then we got Medal of Honor Underground, and a copy of Resident Evil Director's Cut. It's the one I think that supports DualShock. Is that the one? No, I think this one only supports non-DualShock. I have the one that does support DualShock, so now I'm kind of up in the air. Do I save this one or get rid of it? Was able to pick up a Miss Pac-Man plug and play. Again, when I see these for $3, it's always a good thing. I've got a couple of extra ones, so if anyone's interested, I have the Miss Pac-Man one, and then I have the other Mr. Pac-Man plug and play, as well as an Atari. Those are all duplicates, so if you're interested, let me know. Found another Xbox. I think I have another Xbox that I found at a Goodwill. Came with the DVD receiver. I bundled it with a cable, and inside it had a copy of NCAA Football 2005. Totally works, and I think it only cost me about $3-4, so I thought it was pretty good. I just need to justify picking up more fucking Xboxes, because you can never have more. I have like 3 of them sitting right there. You can't see them, but they're there. And I know you people out there that have like stacks of PS1s. That is insane. Now, I bought a lot from eBay of RF adapters, AC adapters, super scopes, and the guy just sent them in a big ass box. Wait, this is my chat headset. Anyway, yes, I picked up, it was a bunch of controllers, Super Nintendo. I think there was about 15 Super Nintendo controllers, 15 Super Nintendo AC adapters, and 15 RF adapters. I had to go through and pretty much open up every single Super Nintendo controller and clean all the contacts because they were horribly, horribly, horribly dirty. But after I did clean up all the contacts, put them all back together, I was actually able to salvage about 12 Super Nintendo controllers. The AC adapters, I was only able to save about, I would say about 8 AC adapters. And then the RF adapters, I had to throw about 3 or 4 away. So let's say I was able to save 11 of them. And then the 4 Super Nintendo Super Scopes, I was able to pull parts from, well, only one of them. They were all roached. If you have a Super Nintendo, do not leave the batteries in it. If you own a Super Nintendo Super Scope, well, why would you have batteries in your Super Nintendo? You would have batteries inside of your Super Scope, which you could use with your Super Nintendo, and if you do, take them out because they will eat away at the battery board that's inside there, and that's what happened to all 4 of those. But I was able to pull one that wasn't so corroded, and I was able to wire it up into mine, so now I have a working one. So that was pretty good. For $80, I did all that. 11 RF adapters, about, as I say, 11 or 12 Super Nintendo controllers, and about 8 to 9 AC adapters, plus a working Super Scope now. So for $80, I think that's pretty good. Oh, and a bunch of memory cards from my next door neighbor. Now, onto some more of the, well, let's not go into some of the better, well, whatever. We're going to go into those finds regardless, so let's start. So to go along with those memory cards, he actually had a PlayStation, the DualShock edition in the box, and he also had a refurbished one that was still in the box. Unfortunately, I think they're both hosed, but he did have one of the first generation ones. So I'm going to see about, I think the laser was dead on that one, so I think I replaced the laser. I can't remember. This was like a month ago. So whatever. I got some cool boxes. Yay. And I didn't have to go dumpster diving for them. On to some movies. Yes, I do collect movies. These are some of the movies that I picked up. Got a copy of Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, which is the weirder of the trilogy, I would say. Or not trilogy, but the series. Ghost in the Shell 2, Innocence. Weird. Weirder than the first one. That's all I can say. And then I picked up Final Fantasy Unlimited, which I had never heard of the series, and I started watching this DVD. It's a little weird. I don't know. I mean, I could pick it up, but I don't think I will. It's a little too weird. Sorcerer on the Rocks, which is pretty much just a guy he's a sorcerer, and he pretty much keeps these women in bondage, but they're like his servants. It's weird. It's weird, but it's Japanese, it's anime. It's not very good, but I think it was just that was it. They never went anywhere with the series. I got a Blu-ray of Beetlejuice. I was excited to find that at a Goodwill. I think that's where I found it. And I found the collector's set for Rambo, which is in this nice steel tin. It's a little dinged up, but it comes with, you know, all the goodness of John Rambo in this massive disc set. So that was pretty cool. I didn't have the only one I ever had was the First Blood Part 2, because that's the only one I really liked. I liked Rambo was pretty good, which was, I think, what, the fourth one? That wasn't too bad. I didn't like the third one, and the first one kind of was a little too slow. But you gotta start somewhere, right?